Well, actually, that is a lie. We did see it very recently. From Good Game Easy Life, in fact, but it wasn't a very ceremonious offering from GGL. The auction was far from effective that game. This time we're going to see him mid lane instead of ADC. So that is more like the natural habitat of Akshan. This is primarily a mid lane. Buffs, I guess you could say. There are definite buffs. The item went from 3400 to 2950, so that is a pretty big step down in gold. Much more suited for that first item slot position, and then from that point you can still go for something like the Infinity Edge, which is always a good item on Jhin. I honestly have no idea what Akshan builds nowadays. This is a champion that I don't really see all that often, if ever. I think Keone built Hubris last time around, but that didn't really work out too well. Not seeing any big movements from either side. Five Freaks bot lane walking into the brush. And maybe they'll be able to get that extra priority. Maybe some, maybe a 3 trade before level 1. Before the first wave, that is. Bone plating already taken off. Looks like the best in the slot bot lane will actually get level 2 here. Level 2 from Granny Spanner. He goes in for a trade, procs PTA. Pretty good stuff. Top lane going pretty much as expected. Set is one of those champions you don't want to tackle head on, and there's, you know, level 1 to 3 breakpoints. You probably don't want to. Yeah, that's why you don't want to fight. His base damage is pretty nasty. And Boot just got a taste of that firsthand. Autoplay actually taking advantage of Ash's extra attack range. That is one thing you can do on Nico. You may not take over all the base stats from the champion you're cloning, but you do inherit the attack range. So that is something you can abuse as a Nico player. And also a bunch of interactions that happen when you turn into a minion. But now, a big trade that forces Granny Spanner to flash away. Just like we were saying, Nico is not a slouch in the early game. But this could turn volatile really fast. Chop makes his first visit in the bot lane, but it doesn't really amount to anything. He does stick around to try and find something more. But all they're going to do is add some extra damage. But now, maybe they stuck around too far, as here comes the mid laner for Five Freaks and the jungler. The CC lands, and Mess's slot is in full retreat. All the flashes are getting burned, but at least one kill should go on to Five Freaks. The Seraphine will finish off the Lilia on the backside of his fight, and Five Freaks actually get another. Jhin sticks around too long for an extra auto attack, and Five Freaks get 2 kills in the bot lane. good trades now from Boot, but Judgy has this big CS lead and his passive is still ticking, giving them that extra regen. He's just not scared of going for these big trades. The root lands once again. Just a super effective roam from autoplay once again. This is something that we've just really seen time and time again from Five Freaks. Their mid laner likes to be active. Oh man. Boot. Maybe he should have been expecting Judgy Rocks to try and cheese him in that brush over there. And that top lane advantage is really getting big. 46 CS to 18, 45. With that extra kill, Zed picks up the Tiamat and the boots. I'm not sure if I would have gone for the instant Tiamat here, because it does basically just make you not able to control the wave as much as you would want to. But here comes the gank from the Five Freaks jungler, and that was pretty much as easy as it gets. Granny Spanner without his flash was not able to avoid that CC chain once the root lands. Oh, but Chop maybe? Okay, he does not have level 6 just yet, so he won't be able to get anything there. It's just a really solid start from Five Freaks. They just need to be worrying about what's happening in top lane a little bit more. Since the Aatrox is suffering in this matchup. Perpetual looking for something more. CJ goes for the engage, but now he doesn't have Aftershock. He doesn't have a way to help his AD carry either. That is another gank that's successful for Five Freaks. Best in slot maybe looking for something mid lane, but Chop is still not level 6. With everything that's happened, he's still behind in XP, and Provecho is just making all the right moves on the map right now, going straight to the dragon. And the first neutral objective goes to Five Freaks. Well, actually that is a lie once again. I don't know why I'm consistently lying to my audience. Best in slot did pick up the grubs earlier. But the dragon does go to Five Freaks. That was a half-truth, I guess you could say. Judgy Rocks once again trying to trade big, but that is under Boot's tower, and that is extra damage that he herself could have, probably should have avoided taking. But I guess if you're set in a position like this, it doesn't matter all that much. The root from autoplay, he follows up with a Pop Blossom, but I don't know if that's enough damage to kill with the root that missed. Granny Spanner stays around for an extra auto attack to try and trade back, but he cannot hope to win this. Bishan creates some extra lane priority. Now that the dragon is down, he can safely use that Pop Blossom just to get ahead in the matchup. Oh, Chop comes in for the gank. He flashes in to tag both of the Five Freaks players and then cast the ultimate. Nice Heartbreaker from Provecho, but it's not gonna kill! He flashes back in to get something out of the play, but that was a complete flop. Best in slot get 2. Both the mid laner and the jungler pick up kills. Big slip up there for Five Freaks. Now Judgy Rocks Once again, dangerously low. Really pushing his limits under Aatrox's tower. Boots still has World Ender. But Set also has his ultimate up. Now Perpetua is finally here to relieve some pressure from the 5 Freaks top laner. Are they going to catch him out of position? Perpetua doesn't have Heartbreaker, so I don't think there's enough burst damage here. Wait, actually, it's autoplay on the Viego instead. I don't know why I got bamboozled on broadcast. That shouldn't be happening. It was Nico. Regirock stays alive, and his CS numbers are looking very good as well. Now, how eager is Best in the Slot to contest these grubs? I feel like they should be in a position to try and go for that, but not if Chop gets caught up just like this. Regirock will ult in and potentially get a double here with the help of Granny Spanner from outside of our vision. Granny flashes in for this kill. It's a little bit awkward though. Boot does get the shutdown. And now there's a big fight happening in the bot lane as well. It's a trade of kills. Both AD carries die. And the action just exploded all over the map. But I feel like, given what happened, 5 Freaks should be happy that it didn't end up being a worse situation than it is right now. Yeah, Aatrox picked up an extra 150 gold from that, so... that could be helpful going into the mid game. Yeah, once again, Regirock's charging right in. We're just gonna see more of the same. In the trades of autos, Spies, you can't hope to win versus an Ashe like that. In the extended trades, Ashe will be the one that's winning, and this is... it feels like a pretty easy death that Spies just gives away like that. And it's right before a dragon as well. Although now we see Perpetua shifting his focus towards top lane, and they will kill the Set successfully. Now, what does that mean for the dragon? Perpetua is back to clearing his own jungle, while Best in Slot are just straight onto the dragon. So that is the potential timing that 5 Freaks missed here. I don't know if they still want to go for the fight. Autoplay looks like he... maybe he was looking for something there, but without the Viego, they were not as confident on the fight. Best in Slot now looking for a response play. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow will just tag the Maokai, and he is stunned under the tower, unable to do anything. It's Best in Slot with a gank, but it's 5 Freaks with a kill. And now, what is going to happen after this? Does Best in Slot want to continue? They have Lilting Lullaby ready. But it can't be fired off just yet. While all of this is happening, Perpetua is all up in Best in Slot's jungle, just taking every camp that he can find. So in all honesty, Best in Slot, they may have gotten the dragon, but every other play that they make is just falls a little bit flat, as now Regirock once again killed in the top lane. And this feels like Best in Slot, the game is slipping away. It feels like they are just not giving enough respect in some of these situations. Oh, the Lilting Lullaby will tag the Viego, but it's just Granny Spanner with a follow-up. Perhaps a little bit premature on the ultimate usage, and now 5 Freaks is all up in Best in Slot's grill. They want to get kills. CJ trying to run away. The teleport comes in from Judgy Rocks. He will dissuade 5 Freaks from moving forward, and they do have to give away the Herald. Best in the slot actually take that one for themselves. So they do force the issue, they get the objective, but it was not the cleanest of fights. Now CJ maybe looking for something down top lane. There's also the jungler coming in, but no flash from CJ. They decide against forcing the play. Instead, it will just be the tower falling. Spy's using the cleanse to try and get away. Will he do so successfully? He tries to run while 5 Freaks are trying to counter the play up top. Spies will actually die at the end of all that. Best in the slot gets a kill with the help of CJ's initiation. 5 Freaks want to continue. Heartbreaker forward, but Provecho cannot hope to survive all that burst. And Boot most likely will fall afterwards. And it's a pretty good sequence right now for Best in the slot as they also kill off I think it was Ashe down there that also dies, so Granny's Banner gets an extra kill, and Best in the slot, all of a sudden, they have completely closed down this gold lead that 5 Freaks had. We're pretty much back to even now. But I feel like, still, going into this next team fight, it is still 5 Freaks that have the superior team fight ultimates. It's Best in the slot that have to be extra careful when approaching champions like Nico, champions like Seraphine as well. Best in the slot, sending Judgy Rock's bot lane now. CJ walking into the river. He will find Provecho. Chop is close by. They root him, and there's 4 people just completely eradicating Provecho's health bar. And now Judgy Rock's in a little bit of trouble. Boot gets slapped, but he will most likely survive with that extra healing from Worldender. Just enough. No, Leandries will actually finish him off. So that's 2 kills for Best of the slot right before this objective. 5 Freaks getting picked off, but now it's they're the ones with the answer. Pop Blossom flashing straight onto the Jhin. And those are 2 very important kills for 5 Freaks. Spies, it looks like he has flash on my screen right now. I'm not sure if it was up when Nico just pop blossomed right in his face, but yeah, feels like another easy pick off for 5 Freaks that potentially gives him a window onto this dragon. Just when we thought Best in the slot had a very good shot at this Hextech Drake, 5 Freaks came right back at them, and once again, Judgy Rock's potentially overextended in the side lane. He uses his ultimate to reposition, but he's going to get caught with all the CC in the world. Heartbreaker for the reset. 5 Freaks continue to push forward. Ashe flash again, slowing with the auto attacks. Chop is strong though. I don't know if you want to be that close to him. Best in the slot trying to get back at 5 Freaks for what happened, but the shield from Seraphine is quite effective. Provecho jumps back in, but he does not get the reset. Now Best in the slot, they want to continue the fight, but Chop is not there. Chop's cooldowns are all down. And at the end of the day, 5 Freaks will get most of the kills in this fight. Autoplay with a double. Tyler on the Seraphine, his shields are doing so much work. Dawncore already completed. It looks like we could be having something like a Well, actually, I'm not sure what item that is. It could be Halia, it could be Moonstone Renewer. Looking at the components that he has right now. Yeah, this is a point in the game where 5 Freaks are very strong, and they can win fights just like that. They can chain their abilities together. Best in slot still with a gold lead, but their bot lane is not looking so hot right now. World Ender used up by Boot. He just wants to escape the situation. Better safe than sorry. Now what's the next move for 5 Freaks? With Enchanted Crystal Arrow, they have so much freedom to do whatever they want. They can just go for any kind of pick. That's going to be a cleanse popped by Spies. That is a trade of cooldowns that 5 Freaks will gladly take. Enchanted Crystal Arrow at this point is a pretty low cooldown, all things considered. It'll be up in less than a minute. Now Hardbreaker onto Granny. He's well out of position. And 5 Freaks once again in a potential teamfight win. Pop Blossom catches 2. Encore catches 2 as well. And 5 Freaks, when they put all of their ultimates together, there's no escape. And they kill almost everyone. It's just Judgy Rocks left on the map. He was all up there in the side lane just doing his own thing, but then his team just got caught in a very bad spot. That should be Baron for 5 Freaks. There's no potential response, even if Judgy Rocks decided to teleport. Autoplay consistently finding the angles with his Nico, and that seems to be the recipe for success right now for 5 Freaks. Every time the Nico was there, able to use her ultimate, that has pretty much been a 5 Freaks teamfight win. Now they're back on the map with a commanding gold lead. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to whiff onto Spies. It was a good try. They tried to take advantage of the fact that his cleanse was down, but no such luck this time. And the Seraphine with all this extra gold is actually making a sizable difference in this game. You just have to wonder, how is 5 Freaks able to overcome 5 Freaks? How is Best in Slot able to overcome 5 Freaks in the team fights? It feels like when this team groups up, there's not much you can do. Best in Slot trying to put pressure on them in the side lanes, but it feels like it's a little bit too late. As Best in Slot, I don't think they can hope to win a team fight right here. Judgy Rock's in the front lines, but he's focused down immediately, while his bot line provides little support. CJ is next to fall, and Best in Slot, they postured for the dragon, but I don't know if it was the right thing to do, as Pop Blossom hits once again. Spies with his flash still down, he was unable to respond to that initiation from autoplay. And now the TP comes out instantly. They are just going to prevent Granny Spanner from doing more top lane, preventing him from taking that tower. It's a huge win for 5 Freaks as they are looking to just increase their chances of making it to playoffs in a big way. This win right here could be the difference between playoffs and elimination, or a potential tiebreaker to fight for playoffs. This is something that Five Freaks would gladly want to avoid here. Oh no! Autoplay hit him! Hit him behind the face of a minion! Surprises Spies once again, and he has to burn both flashes. The slow from the Swirl Seed comes out, but this Best in Slot initiation just falls flat on its face. Nico uses her clone to basically negate all of that. Maokai Ultimate was not enough. The stun lands into the Seraphine CC. Five Freaks, when they're grouped up, they're unstoppable, and they are moving down mid lane to potentially get more. Encore is still available for the Seraphine. I guess this is where they will retreat and give Boot extra time to do stuff in the side lane. Judgy Rocks going in for a big hit onto Autoplay. Can they finish off Nico? No, they can't! And Ash is putting out all kinds of damage. But now, maybe mispositioned a little bit. Will probably die to the Lilia burn, but still, Five Freaks, they brought in support from their jungler and their top laner. Judgy Rocks limping away from the fight, so is Chop. Health bar's blinking right now. They won't be able to catch Judgy Rocks as he escapes through the portal, but Preventure is following him. There's no room to run away. And Boot, with that extra kill, he's making his way back into this game. After a very rough start to the whole thing. Pop Blossom for autoplay, but he really wanted that extra kill onto the Maokai, but instead he's going to give away a shutdown. That's an extra 300 gold for Chop. Best in Slot potentially still in a spot where they could fight their way back into this, but it feels like it would take some creativity, some ingenious movements on the map. They can't just run into Five Freaks and hope for the best. That will not work for them, especially when Seraphine is this strong. I feel like any kind of attempt at a team fight is just it's just not gonna work. Both teams now looking at the Baron. Best in Slot with some extra pressure on the bot side of the map. Set is still planted in the side lane. Best in Slot, they need to make sure that they do not get initiated on. But they also need to worry about this Hextech Soul coming up. They can't just leave this objective, but how do they possibly approach this fight is the question. Feels like Five Freaks is just so much stronger in the team fights. Judgy Rocks, even if he comes in from a flank position, he is potentially in trouble now as he gets tagged with an arrow. The Haymaker shield is going to keep him safe. But now, how much can Best in Slot do on the counter engage? The Facebreaker is huge! The combo is massive from Judgy Rocks, but is that enough to carry the fight? Five Freaks, with all the shields and the extended damage, they can still overpower Best in Slot despite the great initiation that started this fight. The Viego resets this. It's just all too much. Five Freaks are too far ahead for Best in Slot to win here, even though Judgy Rocks tried to put his team on his back. They still want to try and approach here. Maybe look for a desperate steal, but they're not gonna get anything. It is 5 Freaks securing the coveted soul, and they are just that much closer to securing the win as well. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That did not just happen. Oh no! That was Nico! That was not Ash! That was not Ash at 200 HP! You just got completely thrown off by the Nico, my friend. And that is 5 Freaks with a very good position onto the Baron. Judgy Rocks once again tries to come in, tries to deal the damage. He actually kills off a jungler. That Haymaker was huge. Targets the right person. Best in slot. Is this finally the moment where they out-teamfight the other team? Judgy Rocks is still standing, but very low on health. How much more he can do in this fight? But Jin's damage is just not there, man. He is not able to contribute in the team fights the way you would want to, and now Chop also caught by that root. Best in slot trying to fight their way back into this game, but every attempt that they make is just met with resistance. 5 Freaks are not willing to let go of this game. Now there's no hope for steal as autoplay has all the angles covered, and Baron is also now taken away by 5 Freaks. And surely now with this many resources, with how strong they are as a team, the Nexus is in their sights. Rocks back to the side lane. He does have Hullbreaker. He does have that extra pushing power. Enchanted Crystal Arrow will miss. That could have spelled the end for Spies, as he does not have Cleanse or Flash. It is a bit awkward for Judgy Rocks. I feel like now he is not really in a position where he can affect the map on the side lane. Granny's on the other side. But now that 5 Freaks have this information, they feel emboldened to walk in. Judgy Rocks takes a lot of damage in the front lines. Once again, the Haymaker will not really hit anyone. Curtain Call is more of a whimper, as the health bars stay really strong on 5 Freaks. The Seraphine keeps everyone topped off. And Best in Slot just cannot hope for doing a team fight, especially when Pop Blossom hits the majority of Best in Slot members. And surely this is the end of the game. They have the minion wave. They are hitting the Nexus turrets now. 5 Freaks up to 6 and 5 in the standings. Just a solid game from them that brings them really close to playoffs. This was the game to win, and they rose to the occasion.